It begins with a dream. Once again I have fallen asleep in my liminal office where my map of the virtual world has risen like a corrupted image file. My name is Søren Peter, and I'm I was on a virtual pilgrimage. Or maybe it's more like an escape from the Techno Duke Mark Zuck and his brain-melting news feeds. It's been a while, hasn't it? In the meantime, the series has been released. Episode 1, 2 and 3 are on YouTube. We had a premiere here in Copenhagen where Julian from episode 2 stepped on stage and criticized the tech oligarchs.
Techno-capitalist accelerationists, just ban it. Ban X. Ban it in Europe.
And I was on the radio and in the newspapers where I talked about my quest to find a virtual utopia. And meanwhile, my arch-enemy embraced the new autocratic president in the US, and I started to doubt if my journey made any sense. I was more and more convinced that the present is broken. And that's when I came up with a new idea for my virtual journey. Instead of searching for a specific place, I want to search for a specific time. A virtual utopia as a potential future that I have to find. So now I just need to find out how to time travel. And in a way, when you make films, it's not that hard. Look, now I'm in Toulouse in July 2025. Look at the sunset, isn't it beautiful? And look, now I'm waking up once again in my liminal office, as if I'm trapped in a loop like in Groundhog Day or in Solveig Belle's book on the calculation of volume. But in reality, a year has passed since we recorded at the office. I'm actually at home editing. Or rather, this voice is recorded even later, or different parts of the voice are recorded at different times. And the voiceover was written even before that, and earlier still the Russian filmmaker Tarkovsky wrote that film is a sculpture of time. And before that, Walter Benjamin described the unique abilities of cinematic montage to chop up time. In reality, I'm still in the liminal office. I've been here all along, and I just woke up from a dream. My dream is to travel to the future. På den måde så kommer afsnittet ligesom til at handle om, at jeg skal bygge en tidsmaskine.
Bygger du en tidsmaskine, eller?
Jeg kan tegne det. Det får jeg mener i meget konkret forstand, filmmediet som sådan i sin natur er en tidsmaskine, og det er det, jeg vil udnytte.
Det vil i hvert fald være godt at visualisere.
Vi har det, man kunne kalde den fysiske virkelighed, store F, overfor, lad os kalde det den fiktive virkelighed, lille f.
Ja. Og pilen her i midten er tidens retning.
Hvis man nu er et lille menneske her, et lille subjekt, så bevæger man sig ikke bare fremad her, men man eksisterer i verden. Man oplever tiden ved en konstant vekselvirkning mellem de her to sfærer, fysisk virkelighed, fiktiv virkelighed. Og inden i det, der får tiden en slags elasticitet. Virkeligheden er lige med store F, fysisk virkelighed, over lille f, fiktiv virkelighed, ganget med densitet over drama.
Ja.
Kan man finde de rigtige byggesten? Det kunne være et klip her, det kunne være et klip her, det kunne være et klip her, det kunne være et klip her. Så kan man sætte det her sammen til en accelererende bevægelse, som så ligesom skyder afsted langt ud i en fremtid.
Skyder dig, filmskaberne eller hele publikum og alle, der er i berøring med det her materiale?
Det er jeg lidt usikker på.
Okay.
Jeg har lidt svært ved at se det for mig, altså selve afsnittet. For eksempel, hvem er det, du møder i afsnit 4?
Ved jeg nærmest er principielt ikke endnu, fordi jeg skal til fremtiden, ud i fremtiden og finde på tværs af dystopien
noget smukt ud i fremtiden.
Jeg sidder jo lidt og venter på, at næste afsnit kommer ud, og nu er du i gang med at lave matematiske formler for at opfinde tidsmaskinen. Ved, at det påvirker vores tal lidt hæftigt. Det starter rigtig godt med første afsnit. Du møder først Miehe-Woman, næste afsnit på caféen. Meget personlige fortællinger og nogle ømme, intime øjeblik med de her mennesker. Nu er du gået lidt ud af en lidt mere sådan nichet, lidt mere måske svært tilgængelig sti her. Jeg tænker, vi helt klart skal prøve at modkommentere en lille smule med at gøre brugeroplevelsen lidt federe. Tænk lidt over vores thumbnails. Gå for noget lidt mere klassisk clickbait. Inspirere nogle af de lidt større kanaler. Måske du skal møde os en lille smule i midten her. Hvad mindre du?
Jeg forstår ikke helt. Altså, det ændrer ikke på indholdet, at...
Nej, men det ændrer på, at folk klikker på det.
Jamen, hvad... Okay. Ja.
Hvad har du lavet det seneste halve år?
Før det er et afsnit i en serie, er det en tidsmaskine.
There is a beautiful stone bridge in Toulouse called Pont Neuf, which means the new bridge, but it isn't new anymore. It was built over a 100-year period from 1544 to 1632. The people who initiated the construction never got to cross the bridge, and the architect who is credited with the project, Jacques Lemercier, was born in 1581, almost 40 years after the construction started. Pont Neuf doesn't just connect two banks, but several time periods. From the first stones laid in the Renaissance, the arches of the bridge reach across revolutions and floods, and when tourists stand in the bridge today, they are not just standing in the present, but in the middle of a process that stretches across generations and will continue to do so long after they are dead. It makes me think that my time machine might not be a vessel at all, but a construction, giving access to the future through a particular kind of architecture geometry. And my building material isn't stone but film, cinematic staging as a telescope pointed at the future. So our journey through time begins here in my liminal office, a quarter of the way into the 21st century, and our destination is the future. Our time machine is the cinematic medium, and we have to collect moments from different time periods and let them react in the right geometric construction to catch a glimpse of the future. I contact the animation director Mathias Rodriguez, who made the Habermas animations for episode 2, to ask if he can help me with my time machine.
Slynget ud i fremtiden.
Slynge dig ud i fremtiden?
Ja, præcis.
Altså, hvis jeg kunne sende folk til fremtiden med mit arbejde, så ville jeg have mere travlt, tror jeg.
Altså, så vil du få flere jobs?
Jeg vil have flere jobs, tror jeg. Men vi kan godt prøve at se, hvordan det vil gå. Altså...
Vi kommer fra noget, der er cirkulær tid, som er noget før moderne, eller noget af den stil der. Og så bevæger vi os hen til noget, som er mere sådan den her tid.
Men er det ikke sådan en fremskridtskurve med vækst?
Jo, det er meget sådan den moderne tid.
Ja.
Der er kun én tid, og den går fremad.
Ja.
Matthias is skeptical about the episode's potential as a time machine, and yet he still dives headfirst into an animation sequence to show how human perception of time has changed throughout history.
Og en måne her.
Mm-hmm.
At the dawn of humankind, time wasn't linear but circular, cyclical. The sun and the moon rose and set according to a certain rhythm, and we thought they would continue to do so forever. But then we stumbled upon events never seen before, like earthquakes, solar eclipses, and revolutions. We discovered that what seemed like repetition actually contained small deviations. Like when the moon is moving 4 centimeters away from us annually, or the sun, which in 5 billion years will swell into a red giant and swallow the earth. With the discovery of the world's unique events, we experienced the passage of time as a linear movement through an infinitely extended empty space. Newton called it absolute time, meaning that time was a fundamental property in the universe, independent of the events unfolding within it. This is also called industrial time or mechanical time because it is associated with industrial modernity, with train departures, assembly lines, and mass production. The problem is that this understanding of time is wrong. Through Einstein's theory of relativity, time became elastic, dependent on speed and mass, and this elasticity did away with the idea of a universal present. Rather, we are living in local bubbles of presence moving relative to each other. If you look at how quantum mechanics describe the smallest interactions, then the difference between past and future ceases to exist altogether because the physical equations work equally both forwards and backwards. Often the equations work without time being a variable at all, time as a derived effect and emergent property. As it turns out, time isn't the stage on which the world unfolds, rather time is something that arises within the world when physical matter interacts. The relativization of time is reflected in the age of information, where linear time is gradually dissolved by the logic of the network. We live in non-synchronized feeds where every event is remixed and where it's unclear if and when things are happening. There isn't a dominant rhythm anymore, but many parallel velocities. The logic of causality is blurring. Do events create the news, or is it the other way around? The past is archived for retrieval at any moment. Medieval knights respawn as MMA fighters. World War III and the next pandemic are simulated and predicted. The predictions affect the election result. Time becomes operational, something that can be accelerated and frozen, repeated, looped. It's in this shattered temporal landscape that I must find a way to grasp at the future. But it feels as though I'm missing a crucial piece to begin the construction process.
Use the centrifugal force, Luke.
I keep ruminating on the idea that I need to build a sling or a centrifuge, like when we use a planet's gravity to slingshot satellites into space. But what would that look like in the speculative borderland between fiction and physical reality? I invite my scriptwriter and researcher, Petruska, for coffee to get a philosophical perspective on my time travels.
Jeg siger bare, at der er mange, der har brændt fingrene på det.
Brændt fingrene, hvordan?
Prøv at rejse i tiden. Lidt ligesom når Persson siger, at et digt er en besked for fremtiden.
I show Leon my time traveling model and it resonates with him. And then he mentions a philosopher that I should look into.
Har du nogensinde læst Nick Land? Den britiske filosof, siger det noget? Han var meget optaget af noget, der ligner at forestille sig tidsrejser som en lidt noget med drama, at forestille sig det som en slags iscenesættelse. Han havde sådan et begreb, der hedder hyperstation. Har vi snakket om det?
Hyperstation? Ligesom superstation?
Ja.
Er det noget, du selv har rodet på eller noget?
Det kan hurtigt lige blive lidt dark. Når man kigger fremad, langt fremad. Hvis det her sker, og så det her, så Randers rente, bare ligger og tænke på Randers rente, mens man...
Apparently, Leon has had bad experiences thinking too much about the future, but he gave me a lead that I'm immediately pursuing. I dive deeper into the rabbit hole than ever before. For weeks, my world revolves around Nick Land and his concepts of time. Nick Land was hailed as his generation's brightest mind in the 80s. Nick Land, who founded the Cybernetic Culture Research Unit in the 90s at the University of Warwick, where theory, science fiction and amphetamine merged into original ideas concerned with the cyberpunk reality awaiting us in the age of the internet. Nick Land, who predicted the rise of the Chinese economy, cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence. Nick Land, who was screaming into a microphone at an academic seminar. Nick Land, who suffered a mental breakdown and disappeared from the academic world without a trace. To Nick Land, the problem of time travel is connected to the problem of entropy. Entropy is the scientific term for the degree of disorder. Entropy means chaos, swamp, omelette, the leveling of differences. And it's the only way for us to physically understand the passage of time, that the universe is becoming more and more like scrambled eggs. The fact that entropy always rises is the second law of thermodynamics, but it's not really a law, it's a regularity. It's a question of probability. Even though the physical equations work equally well forwards and backwards when you zoom in on the smallest interactions, things look different when you consider a large number of interactions at once. Then time acquires a clear direction toward more disorder and chaos. Like how a cracked egg will never spontaneously reassemble itself, or once spilled a glass of water never flows back into the glass. It's not physically impossible for an omelette to separate itself again and crawl back into the eggshells. It's just much more likely that the opposite happens. That the glass is knocked over, the sun swells, everything withers. Thus the entire history of the universe is a massive undulating movement away from an extremely improbable beginning, where all matter 3.8 billion years ago was gathered in perfect order in one single point. But wait, Nick says, if entropy determines the direction of time, could a time machine be viewed as a local production of order? Like when drama stages the life of the protagonist as fate? Or like observing human history from above and fast forward from hunter-gatherers through agriculture to modern cities? Look, says Nick Land, aren't the urban formations like watching a liquid defy entropy and flow back into the glass? Isn't civilization a local reversal of the arrow of time? Because our ideas of the future shape the present, because we are anticipatory, we can place the future ontologically before the present, ontologically before, chronologically after. Nick Land calls this hyperstition, a blend of superstition and hyper, a kind of superstition on steroids, a future idea that materializes in the present through technology, and theater is one of our hyperstition machines. A machine we can turn up to full volume and set free, so it creates a positive feedback loop, so the future echoes through the microphones as a self-fulfilling prophecy, an accelerating spiral movement, an atomic chain reaction, or a panic attack. So I guess I must stage a drama that can overcome entropy. I decide to stage a theater play at Avenue in Copenhagen. I name it Monkeys Reacting to Magic. And with a group of actors, I'll tune into the logic of hyperstition and materialize the deep future. First on stage and then on camera, a drama within a drama within a drama. I'm going full Christopher Nolan. Wait, I've received a mail. It's from Jeppe, the AI artist who took me to Frankfurt and whispered about AI in my ear. He writes that he's in Shanghai. In Shanghai, people are merging with their phones, he writes. And he is making a film about it. Spirals, it's called. Shanghai is a city with one foot in the future, he writes. And that's exactly what I need for my time machine, the near future. I ask him to send me as much Shanghai footage as possible so I can feed my time machine with it and create a line of connection between the near and the distant future. Now I just need a third and final point so I can triangulate myself out of the present. A point in the past to leap from, me as a human subject, my own past perhaps. I locate all the videos from my childhood and feed them all to the computer. And so I have my coordinates, near past, near and distant future. Now the film must be set in motion around them in a kind of forward, accelerating rhythm. And so I ask Simon Brink, my composer and sound designer, to construct a futuristic rhythm for my time machine.
Meget fjern fremtid, fortid, nutid, fremtid. Altså at man har de der cycles på en eller anden måde. Noget nutid eller næsten nutid, og så noget barndom, noget...
Ja.
Så kunne man måske...
Man kan lave en fil, der måske er 6 timer lang. Så har man måske en musik fra forskellige tidsaldre. Ja. Man har din stemme. Ja. Så kan man afspille forskellige steder inde i de forskellige tiders musik. Uh-huh. Så kan man ligesom flytte afspilningsområdet igennem tid. Plus man kan blande de forskellige tider. Giver det mening?
Det giver 100p mening.
Simon has already built various prototypes for me.
Sjovt.
Like here, where my voice is the reverberation of the sound.
Altså nu bruger jeg din stemme som rumklang.
Jeg kunne tænke også på det som, at en tid har rumklang af en anden tid.
Ja.
Kunne man tænke sådan på det?
Together the tools are supposed to generate an accelerating rhythm that points towards the future.
Og den her, det var lang tid, man hører dig. Jeg har også lavet noget med de der polyrytmer.
Fuck, hvor fedt.
And Simon has also imagined how future music will sound like a mix of choir and sheep.
Får, der bræger.
Okay, ja.
Fordi får, de lyder utrolig meget som mennesker.
Okay.
Så hvis du forestiller dig...
With Simon's tools in place, I begin constructing the time machine, namely the edit itself. And so I vibe code a program that organizes all my footage according to which time period it represents, and then I compile it into Simon's polyrhythmic model. After batching time loops for an entire night, I'm finally ready to...
Søren Peter! Luk de bøger! Du skal ikke læse mere end ikke læse, Søren Peter! Tiden har kun én retning!
Now I'm finally ready to press the big red button that starts the time machine. In 1995, I'm 8 years old when my parents buy their first computer, a 486 that boots up in DOS. My father places it in the attic as it has to run for 24 hours before it can be used. 1997, the satellite dish, I'm binging Swedish TV just because I can, the intro sequence to The Nanny, video machines on the ferry to Bornholm, Street Fighter on my Game Boy, Tony Hawk on my PlayStation. Any animation of the dead matter attracts me like a magnet. And then the internet of all things is suddenly spurting out of the phone socket and opens up the world, the Opacia chat, dancing baby, winning. And then finally in 2001, my very own computer, bought with my confirmation money. It is beautiful like a science fiction film. I put stickers on the cabinet, diodes on the motherboard, NVIDIA GeForce 2 GTS. In the intermediate future, the air is dense and sticky like an early 21st century internet cafe. Here in the anachronistic darkness, humanity is performing its final act, while cables fall from the ceiling and people watch the live stream. A weird stand-up comedian is doing a routine about the internet without realizing that technology is devouring him.
Computer, yes!
A ghost resides in the hotel in Shanghai. The place was known for its many suicides in the 1930s. People jumped from windows or hanged themselves. Last night it felt like there was a person in my room. Every time I was just about to fall asleep, something woke me up. Around 2 a.m. I woke from a loud humming, a mechanical noise. I went into my bathroom and found that the noise came from my electric toothbrush. When I was a child, summer came, because I did not yet know of ambition.
Hele det her show, hele showet, er skrevet af en computer.
Filmer du?
Shanghai is set to lean over the edge of the present. Dinosaurs walk among the skyscrapers. The Second World War is not yet over. The American Civil War is not yet over. The Third World War begins in the backyard of my childhood. My childhood in Shanghai, back when I was a theater play. Back when the obsolete human sat at the bar at the end of the world, its last paid gig was to watch AI-generated porn.
Kan vi ikke bare ligge lidt her og ikke tænke på noget?
Vent. and culture was sliding smoothly like a theater set on wheels. The city changed scene, the streets meshed like mechanical gears, and the human being merged seamlessly with the screen, as if it were the true home of the species.
Kan vi ikke bare ligge lidt her og ikke tænke på noget?
Må jeg kunne lov at komme ud?
2095, I'm 8 years old when they upload me to the schizosphere. All the future perspectives of my time machine converge in the same vanishing point. Here in the deep future hangs the last human remnant in flesh and blood, like a waste product excreted on the inside of the machine. I was supposed to find beauty in the future, but all my hyperstitions converge in the same image, an image of the human being absorbed by technology, lying stripped and lifeless inside the square of the concept. I was supposed to find something beautiful, but I'm being drawn into the doomsday narrative as a gravitational field that I cannot escape. That we cannot escape, perhaps. Nick Lane says that technology, capitalism, and artificial intelligence are one and the same thing, the same all-devouring process that slowly subsumes all worldly material in a self-reinforcing circuit, a cybernetic feedback loop that formalizes everything. I was never entirely alone in the office. Inside my cube-shaped map of the virtual world lives the very same all-devouring tendency that Nick Lane describes, the formalizing feedback loop. If you follow the idea of Hyperstition to its conclusion, then a monster is truly hidden inside the map. Then technology is not only reversing time, but causality itself. Then the future creates the past, not the other way around. I thought I was reaching for the future, but the future is reaching for me. A future artificial intelligence assembling itself out of us, the ancient apes, and our hopes and dreams. I thought my arch-enemy was Mark Zuck, the Sauron figure of surveillance capitalism. But it turns out there's an even greater enemy right behind him that has crept up on me. Nick Lane. Nick Lane, who after his breakdown in the North re-emerged as an intellectual shadow figure in Shanghai as the philosopher behind the Dark Enlightenment movement on the far right. Nick Lane is an anti-humanist nihilist. He believes we should surrender to dissolution, to breakdown, to collapse. He believes democracy should be abolished, that racism will inevitably reform in a new cyberpunk reality where the elite have modified their bodies, that humanistic morality and ethics are bad circuit design. The weak should suffer, the strong dominate, the pain intensify. What is this cruel clarity hiding in his inhumane gaze? In the most beautiful home video recording that I have, my little sister is sitting on my father's lap. He teaches her how to pronounce the S sounds in the words. Every movement he makes lets her know that he loves her, that the world is safe. And now, 33 years later, I'm thinking that this footage contains an obvious argument against Nick Lane and the inevitable doom. Indeed so evident that even a child understands it. but it's an argument that cannot be projected or scaled. Love existed before us, like a whisper before the lips, what the images tell us long before they begin to tell. And you're also around somewhere, perhaps in a cinema or on the inside of the machine somewhere deep in the future, and we are watching the same thing, we are watching the same thing, and it's a miracle that it's even possible. The very first virtual world was the one that opened in our consciousness as we began to dream. It tore a rift in the completely flattened present, in the forward-rushing, hopeless present, and so time gained volume. We gained a future and a past because we were able to imagine what wasn't right in front of us. In the dreaming, the totem animals wandered and sang the world into being by naming everything they encountered along their way. An unsung land is a dead land. When the songs are forgotten, the land itself will die. I have murdered my map. I filled it with paradoxes and sentimental nostalgia, and now maggots have spawned in it. The map was supposed to redeem my virtual dreams, but instead it manifested the very same logics that I was trying to escape. If I'll continue my journey, I must be free of the logic of the map. Who knows, it might not even include any videos. Maybe it was a mistake to publish on YouTube, to publish at all. Isn't the world just too full of content? Perhaps the next step is to blow up a data center. Perhaps I shouldn't even look for a kinder internet on the internet. Maybe I should hire an ant colony to edit the next episode. I have to walk the pilgrimage on 2B2. I'm moving to a desert island. Can I build an ecological computer? Can videos wither? Can social media ferment?